Welcome back to another terrain tutorial. Before watching this one, I highly recommend you check out the other videos before this one because we will be expanding on what we've previously have built. And in this one we'll be focusing on making smooth hills. We'll be using the same terrain as we used before in the other tutorials, which is the Swamp Cliff Gallery. This can be easily found in the Terrain tab. In this gallery you want to use this flat piece, which it'll look something like this. Once you have this piece, you want to resize it like we've done before in the other tutorials. You don't have to resize it much, but make sure it isn't too big or too small. Once you have it like this, you want to rotate it. Make sure you're off grid as well. And once you start rotating it, you want to have the back and fronts peeking up and down. You want to rotate it 2 to 3 times and have 2 or 3 pieces. Like I'm doing here. Should look something like that. Now what you want to do is copy and paste the first piece that you rotated. And similar how we did in the previous tutorials, you want to make sure there's a smooth transition between it and the ground. And you don't want to have a bad transition from piece to piece that looks something like this. We don't want that. That doesn't look good at all. So if you have anything like that, make sure you replace it and have it aligned perfectly so there's a smooth transition. When going from piece to piece, you want to make sure there's a smooth transition as well. Make sure that each piece is evenly placed inside of each other, like I'm doing here. You will do the same thing for the next piece. I'll speed up the video to save time, but you can see we're using the same tricks to make this part as well. Since I only made 2 pieces here, I'll actually be adding a third one to make a bigger hill. You can make the hill any size you want, but I'm going to make it a little bigger, so I'm going to add a third piece. And again, when placing these pieces, make sure they are evenly placed inside of each other, just like I'm showing here. Once you have finished it up, you can use the same pieces you used before. So for the next part, you want to use the piece before the one you just used, which would be this piece right here. This next piece, however, is a bit trickier to place from the others, since instead of having them inside of each other, they'll be placed on top of each other. So you want to place them similar to how I'm doing here. Even though these pieces will be harder and take more time to place, the same tricks used before will still apply. If you have any unaligned pieces, make sure to fix them so the terrain is really smooth. You don't want to have some unaligned pieces because then it will make it not look as good as you want it to be. Like we just did, you'll do the same exact thing for the next piece. Finally is the flat piece. This will be the one that makes or breaks your build, so you want to make sure everything lines up. And if it doesn't, make sure to make some adjustments as well. This seems to be lined up, so I'll just continue from here. And as you can see here, we have a nice and smooth hill. And there's a quick tutorial on how to make some semi-basic hills in Fortnite Creative. I hope you enjoyed, and be sure to watch the previous videos if you haven't already. And I hope this tutorial helped, and have an amazing day.